You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Welcome to Cinema Z, because I'm refusing to call it Cinema Z. So if you're in the UK or Canada, then it's Cinema Z, but for all our US listeners, we'll go with Cinema Z. But this is Cinema Z. Welcome. We are a film discussion and review podcast on BQN, and we're here to showcase the films you probably missed, but should definitely check out. From independent and obscure art house to absurd, each episode will gather perhaps with a drink, or like me, some apple and blackcurrant squash, and we'll discuss it all. I'm your host, Joe Keegan. You might know me from Galaxy Class, also on BQN, and now on the Batleth Battles, with my good friend Kevin Scarf. And joined with me today are your usual hosts, Matt Jennings and Mark, and I'm totally blanked on your surname, Mark White.
Get out of my chair! What the fuck are you doing in my chair?
It's like, do you know what? When you're in there, I'm winging it.
Remove thyself.
Matt had the good sense to put his surname on StreamYard, and my brain stopped working because it's 12 minutes past 11 p.m. It's way past my bedtime.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's nearly the witching hour here. So welcome everybody. How are you guys? Mark White and Matt Jennings.
Mark, I'll let you go first since you're so wronged.
Listen. My hands have been covered in cock for the last 2 days.
Oh, is it resealing his bathroom?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what you meant.
C-A-U-L-K.
Matt, get your head out of the gutter here. No, I'm remodeling my half bath, and so I have my hands are just full of talk. Anyway, but aside from that, things are going good, and I have a cocktail with me, which I will share. I usually am on theme, and I feel like I picked a good theme this week. Mm-hmm. It is basic, but we're dealing with teenagers here, okay? So
okay.
I went way back. I'm like, if I was at a high school party or a college party, what would I be drinking? And Coca-Cola, rum, and a splash of lime. There we go. Pretty basic there, but that's what I would have at a party in college.
Yeah, well done. Good choice. Matt Jennings, that is your surname also. What are you drinking, if anything?
So the funny thing is that I always drink like I'm in high school or college. Today, listeners, I have something called, it's a blueberry margarita. It's very blue, and it comes out of a bottle, and I bought it at the Ralph's grocery store, and it's delicious. Normally call it Romulan ale because it's got this bluish-green color.
Yeah. I get that.
So I just call it my Romulan ale, but that's what I've got with me today.
Matt Jennings, you're representing the Rex Manning. So
you
have the fancy, colorful drink.
But it's not purple.
Wasn't his shirt purple?
Yeah. Very purple, yeah.
I don't have
cool, and I'm just hydrating before bedtime. So, nothing fancy for me.
Well, we got Davey last week, and it was like OJ, because it was first thing in the morning, Australia. Mate.
Australia? Yeah. No offense to any Australian listeners.
Oh, they're already all coming to kill me.
Yeah. Mark has already dug his own grave.
Deep enough to get all the way to Australia, probably.
Absolutely.
So what have we been watching recently in terms of movies?
I feel like I don't know, you guys are going to come for me with spears and with pitchforks. I don't know what possessed me, but I put on The Phantom Menace. I watched The Phantom Menace the other day.
That's okay.
I don't mean that.
You guys are all right?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
I don't hold it against you. I don't hold it against you.
The
You know,
plan was to go through all of them, but the Phantom Menace was so long, and I was like, oh man, I got other things to do with my life. So at some point, I'll watch the other.
I mean, the Phantom Menace gave us, I think, one of the best lightsaber duels of all time. I
Yeah.
think to
And the
this
music.
day.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that music! Listen, I listen to Duel of the Fates when I'm at the gym, and it slaps so hard. Like it gets you
Yeah.
pumped up. It
Makes
really
you run
does.
faster. Yeah.
It makes you run faster, lift harder.
Mark, have you watched anything? No, you watched Phantom Menace. Sorry, Matt, and Mark.
Gosh, I don't know. I think the last time we were on here, I brought up Magical Negroes, the Society of Magical Negroes. So I saw that.
Okay.
I saw Madam Web.
Oh, me too. I quite enjoyed that.
That's
Do you know, it was it was an hour and 90 minutes of entertainment. I wasn't. Yeah.
Matt loved it. I mean, I get so many texts from him.
So you didn't like it. That's fine.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be
Okay.
positive.
I'm such a little stirrer over here.
I am the Paula Abdul of American Idol right now.
I've seen the new Dune. Or every time I say that word,
Yes.
Americans don't understand what I'm saying. Dune. Based on the book by Frank Herbert. That one. You guys say Dune or something?
Yes.
Part 2. Both times at the movies, I've fallen asleep at the same part near the end.
I still haven't seen it. I'm so mad. I want
Really
You guys
good.
haven't seen Dune 2?
It's
I
brilliant.
I
Visually,
want to see
it's
Austin
just-
Butler with his shirt off.
Well, it's basically like Demon Twink versus Angsty Twink. It's
Can
like
I be
this-
in the middle of that? Twink sandwich?
you'll die, but
I mean, you'll die. Like,
Mhm.
With a smile on my face, maybe.
Austin Butler is like the kind of Demon Twink that will, like, I don't know, take all of your money and your bank account will be empty
Yeah,
at the end
He
of like
also
a
kisses
wild night
his
going
father in that movie, doesn't he?
and a bit
I
too
think he
on the
does.
lips. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not his dad; it's his uncle.
Oh.
The Baron's
Okay.
his uncle. His parents were killed. Anyways, yeah, so that was enjoyable. Visually, I think it will win awards for cinematography and special effects.
Oh.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. About something that happened to me recently in relation to movies. So I live in a little town on the west coast of Scotland called Aenar, and we had a movie theatre, what we would call a cinema. Do you guys call it cinema?
We call it cinema here too.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we used to call it
So,
cinema.
yeah, we had a local cinema, 4 screens, and there's a big company in the UK, a big cinema company called Odeon, and they pulled out of running it. So our local cinema closed down. And I love going to the movies. I used to have now the cards you can sometimes get with cinema companies where you pay $20 a month and you can go as much as you want. You used to have one of them and you just go all the time. Sometimes multiple times a day, just so you could see everything that was on at the movies. So last year, they pulled out, closed down. Our nearest cinema is like 30 minutes away, which isn't far, but it's just when your local cinema is 5 minutes away, it's a bit of a difference. So, turns out recently another cinema company called Merlin Cinemas had decided to take it over. So they'd been in for the last couple of months, doing it all up, painting it with many coats of paint that weren't, I don't think, altogether dry by the time they opened. And they were having a grand opening a couple of weeks ago now. And I managed to get an invite to the grand opening. It was the end of March, wasn't it? Yeah, the Friday at the end of March. It was Good Friday, I think. Was it Good Friday? Oh no, it was the Thursday before Good Friday, whatever date that was. And they had a reception. There was lots of people there. Jeff Greaves, the CEO of Merlin Cinemas, local politicians, the media, lots of free Prosecco, which was good.
Yeah, free Prosecco is good.
Yeah. And no free popcorn. You had to buy your own food, but that was fine. Got free Prosecco. And they were showing the new Ghostbusters movie, Frozen Empire. which I thought was quite enjoyable. Yeah, there was lots of nostalgia, lots of new stuff, lots of old cast members, lots of new cast members, and it was a fun old time at the cinema. It was one of the first times at the cinema where people have applauded. They've clapped, because I think a lot of people were just really excited to have a cinema back in the town, which was good. So thank Merlin Cinemas for bringing cinema back to my little town of Air, which is great. I have to plug their big movie deal as well, as to say thanks for inviting me along to the opening. Basically, what they're going to do is have kind of older movies every now and again. Like on the 25th of April, they are having a showing of Jaws, and for £7.99, which is like $10 ish, you can go and see it, but you get like a $5 voucher with that to spend on food and concessions, which is good. So it's actually really, really cheap. So yeah, if you're in Ayr, if you're a listener and you're near here in the west of Scotland, come and visit the Merlin Cinemas in Ayr. Plug end.
That was lovely.
This episode has been brought to you by Merlin Cinemas.
Thank you for watching. Okay, we are here to talk about one of my all-time favourite movies, and that is Empire Records. And I hope everybody that's listening has seen Empire Records, and if you haven't, then you're going to run out and find it on streaming or buy it on, I don't know, Laserdisc or something, and put it in your Laserdisc machine. Yes, and watch it, because it never won any awards. The critics panned it, but it's become a total cult classic. It was directed, I didn't know this, I don't pay attention to the details of movies. I kind of let movies float over me, and then I decide after I've watched them if I like them or not. I don't go into the details, I don't care who's in it, or like who directed it, or who the first director, assistant, production, who was on the dolly grip. I don't care about that stuff. But it turns out Alan Moyles directed it, who also directed Pump Up the Volume, which is also one of my favourite movies as well. And I get they're not the same movie, but they've got very similar kind of ideas behind them. So Empire Records is about a record store in Baltimore, a little independent. Oh no, it's not Baltimore. I keep on getting Baltimore and Delaware mixed up. They're not the same place.
I thought they were too when I live here.
Okay, well, I don't even know where they are, apart from being on the East Coast somewhere. So, independent record store, there's a little tight-knit group of music-savvy youths. Not entirely sure what age they are, somewhere between like 17 and 21, possibly. They hear that the shop might be sold out to a big chain of music stores, and Lucas, one of the employees, is allowed to close up that night, count the money, and then take it to the bank in the morning. But he decides to drive the 150, 160 miles, 2.5 hour drive to Atlantic City, where they have casinos, and gamble it all, and promptly loses it all. And then the next day goes back into work, and then all the shenanigans, all these teenagers with their angst and their problems and their issues, all kind of comes to a head. And that's kind of what it's about. Why I wanted to watch it. So it came out in 1995 in the US, and a whole year later in the UK, because this is back in the days where we got everything way after you guys. I was 18 at the time, and the people, the characters in Empire Records are all kind of me at that age. I was hanging about with those types of people. So the music kind of spoke to me at that time, so it's pure nostalgia. It reminds me that summer of 1995, I finished up high school, I think May 95, and I didn't start university until October.
So are you telling us that you were also trying to sleep with Rex Manning?
I was not trying to sleep with Rex Manning. I find that idea wholly offensive. Yeah, so it's pure nostalgia. It reminds me of that longest summer of my youth. Like that perfect summer you have where you don't care about anything. And it's all just about finding yourself and who you are. Yeah. Why did you guys want to watch Empire Records, Mark? Apart from the fact that I wanted to watch it. Come on.
I went to school in the early aughts in college, and so the movie had already been out for like 10 years, but the cult following had been growing steadily since it came out.
Okay.
And this was, in the same sort of vein as like that movie Waiting. Like everybody, I feel like, has seen that movie as well with Ryan Reynolds, and it's like, oh, like that's another cult film that people just have to watch. Well, this is sort of, this came out before that, and it's that same kind of idea where like it's that same group of people that gravitate towards that movie, probably, like this movie as well. And I watched it a bunch around that time and haven't seen it since. And I remembered watching it a bunch of times at that point, but it's been so long. I didn't remember much about the movie. I remember I liked it, but I didn't remember that much about it. So I was excited to dive back in and sort of revisit that time in my life and all the feelings and take a real nostalgia trip, similar to Joe. I was struck by so much about this movie on the rewatch, and it was like, I think I might have even texted you, Matt. This was like the most 90s movie probably ever made. From the casting to the music to the costumes to dialogue and plot themes. I mean, it just drips mid 90s. And I loved that because I was like, oh, like I remember, being a kid in the mid 90s, and just brought me back. So yeah, it was really cool. I was glad to go back and watch.
It's almost like a movie that's been made specifically for you. That's the way
I mean, kind of.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you?
For me, getting into it, I didn't realize that it was a cult classic. I think I remember being a kid looking at the cover of the I think the DVD. My dad, I think, has a DVD of it. I remember looking at the cover and seeing Liv Tyler on the cover, and only knowing Liv Tyler from Lord of the Rings, because that was like, I was probably 12 or 13 when that movie came out, and so I was like, oh, it's it's that woman from Lord of the Rings. Oh, she was in this movie. Oh, really interesting. It is such a time capsule to me. It's a time capsule to Tower Records.
Yes.
I mean, I remember going to Tower Records all the time, and that big, the DVD section, the CD section, the record section, Barnes and Noble, where you could put the headphones on and listen to an album. It's such a time capsule, and it takes me back. To me, this movie is a whole bunch of things. I mean, it came out in 95, so it takes place in one setting, which, for one, like in terms of trying to save money and film something on a tight budget, that's a great idea. But, not only that, it reminds me of shows that we had down the road, like Superstore. I don't know if you ever heard of a show called Superstore. It's a mockumentary series. It takes place in a store that's kind of like Best Buy or like a Walmart. I think of Abbott Elementary as well, mockumentary shows that take place in one setting. To me, movies like Empire Records were like the precursor to
the OG, of these. Yeah, I get you.
It was the build up to that, and oh my God, I must be old, because as I was watching this movie, the angst the angst that was
Mm.
just like coming out of the screen and grabbing you by the throat. You know, from Liv Tyler's situation to Renee Zellweger's situation to oh gosh, the kid, I can't remember his name about now, but he comes in at the end with a gun.
Oh, Warren.
You know,
Yeah.
there was so much going on, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle this. This is too much. But you know, again, you know, these are kids, and this is, you know, it's speaking to a different generation and a different time. But all that to say, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. And I think it sometimes feels like it's all over the place. But I think that's what it's like when you're a kid. Yeah.
Exactly.
You hate somebody and you have a big fight, and then in the next minute you're best friends and you love each other forever. And it does that all the time. Has really, I think it's marketed almost as a comedy, but I don't find many moments in it where I laugh out loud. I find a lot of it more thought-provoking than, and there's obviously Mark, Ethan Embry's character, Mark, it's just such a goofball, so he's the comedy in it. But yeah, it just brings me, I watch it every couple of years, and it just kind of brings me joy.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a time in my life when things appeared simpler.
Yeah.
But because I was clueless about what was really going on most of the time. We've mentioned some of the people that are in this movie, but it's got a brilliant cast. It just keeps on going on, and I think all these people, or a lot of the people that are in it, went on to do other things.
Oh my God!
Famous.
I mean, these young actors, you know, especially there's something. I mean, no shade to young actors that we have now, but there's something about these actors that we had in these younger roles in the '90s that the performances were more visceral, more, I don't know. It was coming from a deeper place. Again, that is no disrespect to the younger actors that we have coming up now. It's just, again, you know, like you said, Joe, these actors really went on to do some great work down the road and continued to be great. So
yeah, I think I read something earlier in an article about the movie. It said that Alan Moyles just let the kids be kids. Like, just there's the sequence at the end where they're all up in the roof dancing.
Yeah.
Like, just put on music, just let them dance, just let them carry on and be a bit silly and a bit stupid, and with not a care in the world, and that really comes across, I think. And so I think that's maybe what you're saying. They've just been told to be themselves rather than being given very specific direction all the time.
Oh, that one guy though that was like trying to turn the place into like a big conglomerate shop that came in with like the tie or whatever. What a tool! Oh my gosh.
That's the character.
He's clutching onto that thing of money at the end.
And he had a double-breasted suit. The double-breasted
You knew he
suit.
was a tool when you saw the double-breasted suit.
Yes. Oh my God. I said, not this double-breasted suit. I can't. He probably has some cocaine in his pocket too.
He probably has the Wu-Tang Clan album. Now he got it from the guy that was selling the drugs.
It's interesting. I think he's in it just to juxtapose everybody that works in the store.
Yeah.
Being kind of cool and laid back, and they're in it for the music. Okay, and it's something we'll talk about in a minute, is the soundtrack for this and how music's the central theme of the whole movie, and it works to bring people together. But Ben Bode's character of Mitchell Beck is just the antithesis of that, isn't he? He's just the corporate stooge guy. He owns the Empire Records building because his father or his grandfather owned a Bed Bath and Beyond or something in it before. And he just wants to make money, and that's why he's trying to sell it out to become a music town, just a big corporate, wants to be a franchise of Music Town. So yeah, he's just a big douche, isn't he? Really.
Well, there's absolutely, this movie, there's absolutely a musical theater element to this movie, 100%. Just the way that the music is introduced in each scene throughout this movie, and the montages that intercut with the different songs. I mean, you've got moments where people are dancing. There's the shot. It's like the shot where I guess the camera kind of just pans across different people listening to an album in the booth, and they're all dancing different way.
There's a woman crying, listen to the Carpenters.
Which, for whatever in my head, when I was watching that woman cry, I'm like, okay, so she's listening to the new Adele album. Like, if it hasn't been made a musical yet, I'm not a fan of movies being made into musicals. It would totally make sense to me that Empire Records would be made into like a jukebox musical. It totally makes sense.
Well, do you know, it's really interesting you say that. In the trivia section, which we'll have a bit of a spoiler for, there is a musical currently in production that's going to premiere in New Jersey's MacArthur Theatre.
Whoa, nice.
Later on this year.
That makes sense.
If there's ever a reason to go to New Jersey, that is it. Never thought I'd say that.
Question for you guys. Do you guys, I mean, I do specifically, but I'm wondering, both of you guys, do you guys have a memory of going to a record store specifically to listen to new music, put on those headphones? Can you tell me about an experience that you might have had doing that when you were younger?
Oof.
No, I went to music stores, like we had a big Tower Records, like over 5 levels in Glasgow. We used to go there. I had a really good school friend that he's got an encyclopedic knowledge of music, like rock music and just everything, old stuff and new stuff. And he collects vinyl and CDs, just hundreds of music. So I never had to really go and listen to anything, because he introduced most of the music that I listened to me. I would go and look for like singles, like Tori Amos singles. Weird lost B-sides that you could never get anywhere else. I think this was maybe before Napster and LimeWire, before you could download.
Oh my god!
You actually go and find physical media.
See, I remember, well, for one thing, I would go into Tower Records because I always wanted to buy the action figures. They were always like really good, expensive Star Trek action figures at Tower Records. That's a whole other tangent that I can go on, but that was my main reason for going. But I will say that, when I would go into places like Barnes & Noble and I would see the new CD or the latest CD from whatever artist on this wall in the back of the music and video section of the store, and people would write their own little reviews on these little placard cards, and they would post them on the wall. And I always thought that was very, very interesting to see. So I would kind of just one by one on that wall put the headphones on and listen to a little bit of the music, go to the next one, listen to a little bit of the music. So that's that's my memory of doing that kind of stuff.
Did you do that kind of thing, Mark?
Yeah, I lived about an hour away from like the nearest like record store or whatever, but so we would go not that frequently, you know what I mean? So when we went, like we had to like stock up on music, my brother and I, because there wasn't any stores around us to do so. But yeah, there was it used to be, it's closed, rest in peace, but Borders Books, Music and Cafe, and they had a little well, it wasn't Starbucks, but it was like the Borders Cafe they had in there. But my parents essentially dropped my brother and I off there and then go do whatever they wanted to do around. And my brother and I were fine because we could go and jam out to music. We could pick up a magazine. We could, have, something to, at the cafe. So we were good. But I just remember sort of checking out different albums based on like the artwork and like the genre and stuff. And so literally like just moving around through, they were all in alphabetical order. So I would just flip through. I'd be like in the rock section, like, okay, oh, this one looks cool. What's this about? And then put that on and listen through the headphones. And the headphones are always falling apart, stuck together with duct tape,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know, because they got tried on so many times. This was pre-COVID.
Also, do you think they sanitized them? Do you think they wiped
Oh
them
God,
down?
no.
Ew,
They did not.
ew.
No, there's no way. Maybe at the end of the day they'd wipe them down. That's it. But I remember specifically hearing Placebo's album, Without You, I'm Nothing, for the first time. And I remember the day. I remember it was like in the fall. I remember just how excited I was, how shocked I was just to hear music that's so connected and resonated like with my soul. I was like, what the hell? This is what it's like to have like a favorite band. Like everybody I knew had like a favorite band, but I never did. And then I found like this album and I was like, wow. And yeah, no, it just blew my mind. And I just, I always remember that. I remember that moment, that day, putting on the headphones and then going through each track on the album and buying that album and then the previous album that had already come out. They had me hooked. I bought every album since.
And then you've got a cease and desist from Brian Molko, haven't you? Maybe. Yeah, music's weird, but it's a bit like your sense of smell. There's some music, like I really struggle with music in finding anything new to listen to, and I can never go looking for new music. I always have to stumble upon it when I'm not looking for it, and things stick with me. So, like just sticking with Placebo, hearing Pure Morning for the first time. I lived in Australia at the time. I remember the first time I listened to Tori Amos's Boys for Pele album. I'd bought it at the record store and then walked around to my car and just sat in the car and listened to the whole album. There's loads of things like that where you just, even though it was like 20, 30 years ago, you just don't, because the music had such an impact. It's like indelibly locked into your mind. And I think we're talking about the songs in this. I think the album that you can listen to on Spotify or Apple Music has maybe 15 tracks. There's literally something like 50 different songs.
50.
Something like that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other songs that are interspersed throughout the whole movie.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's why I love the Gin Blossoms. Till I Hear It From You that opens.
Oh my God. When I heard that, I was like, here we are, people. We've landed in the mid-90s. We officially arrived. It was the Gin Blossoms. Thank you.
I'm a teenager again. I'm loving it.
Oh, it's your fault, Joe. I have spent the last 2 days listening to nothing but 90s music because of you. You got me hooked with the movie, and then I've just been on a kick. I've been bebopping around at work. It's all been 90s music.
Nothing wrong with that at all. There's not a bad song. And do you know what? It's not just all one genre. You've got like Evan Dando singing the Ballad of El Gudo, which is a cover from another band. And you've got Gwar. Gwar with what's the song about Saddam Agogo, which is when
was it Mark that wanted to be in Gwar? Yeah.
Mark's eating the hash brownies and he's a bit stoned and he hallucinates that he's in the Gwar music video and he gets eaten by something from Little Shop of Horrors by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was a giant plant.
Yeah. The soundtrack is a standout. In fact, one of the critics that panned it said that the movie was more a soundtrack looking for a movie than it was a movie. and I don't hate that. I'm okay with
That was a criticism?
Yeah, I'm like it's a film about music, so you're going to have lots of songs in it, and all the songs that chose are purposeful, and there wasn't a song I didn't really enjoy in it. Oh, we have to talk about the woman, the old opera singer type woman, who is like second in the queue to meet Rex Manning.
Oh, and she starts going, yes,
mon amour, mon amour, like that, or however it goes. Yeah, she's just delightfully out of tune, and it's so cringy, but it's fine.
Have you guys ever been so jazzed to meet a celebrity that you did something ridiculous?
Leonard Nimoy.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Nothing ridiculous, really. I thought I wanted to capture the moment, so I had like a video camera in one hand and an actual still camera in the other hand. And I was too busy frittering about with technology. And I had his book, I Am Spock, and handed it over, and he signed it, and he said, "Hello, how are you?" And I'm like, yeah, I kind of missed the moment because I was frittering about. And then all I got was footage of like me moving a video camera about. Yeah.
Now, for me, it was Nichelle Nichols. I went to LA Con about 10 years ago, and I saw her sitting at a table, and my friends that went with me were trying to get me to go up and speak to her. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Like, Matt, take this opportunity to go up and speak to her. So I go up there, and I speak to her, and I just say, hi, I want to tell you that I really love everything that you do, and I appreciate everything that you did. Okay, bye. And then I just walked away.
Oh, no. Mark, what about you?
So this one's non-Trek related. Actually, this is a weird one. I'm thinking of oddball. Like I've met, especially at STLV, I met a bunch of different Trek actors and Trek adjacent actors, but this was not that. I was living in South Florida, and there was this one woman show sort of based on the life of like Lucille Ball, and it was like an impersonator for Lucille Ball or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, she got the job doing this tour thing from Lucy Arnaz, Lucy's daughter. Evidently found this woman and got her to do this tour thing or whatever as her mom. And so she was like traveling with her and like doing like a book signing or something about her life with this impersonator. So anyway, after the one woman show thing, there's like Lucy Arnaz and the impersonator lady. And I'm going up to meet Lucy Arnaz because it's, Lucille Ball's daughter. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter. And I'm like, wow, I really want to meet her. And so I get up and I have a real Lucy moment with her because I was wondering, like, I wanted my picture taken with her, but it was just like autographs kind of situation. They weren't like doing photos. So my mom got ready, I think, with a camera. And when I got close enough to the table, I dove on top of the table and slid across in front of Lucy Arnaz.
Oh my God, Mark.
My mom snapped the photo, and all you can see is like the impersonator almost falling out of her chair because she's scared, and Lucy Arnaz just sort of like looking freaked. And I'm smiling ear to ear.
How old were you?
Oh, was it last week?
Yeah. No, I was like maybe 25. I don't know.
Okay. That's forgivable.
Yeah, I don't know. But the thing is like they weren't mad. I didn't get escorted out. Like afterwards, they both laughed about it, so it was cool. But yeah, I was like, this is like probably the most Lucy thing I could do. because like if you watch I Love Lucy, she's known for hijinks, you know, and I was like,
Right.
okay, that is totally something Lucy would do, is just dive on the table. So I'm gonna fucking just dive on the table.
Do it. You'd have regretted not doing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I got this great photo. I'll have to post it in the group after when this episode drops.
I'm
It would have
so
been- it would have-
curious.
Been funnier if you just kept on sliding along the table like a drowning went along the bar.
Well,
You
I
just
did
fell
almost
off
fall
the
in
other
Lucy
end.
Arnaiz's lap. You know, there's that.
The whole movie is about these kids in one day in the life of their job,
Mm-hmm.
basically trying to discover who they are and finding their way. Liv Tyler's character, Corey. She's an A student. She's going to Harvard. Huge parental pressure on her. And we discover that she's doing speed so that she can do her job in Empire Records. She can study all night. She can bake cupcakes for Rex Manning Day. She can do all this. So she kind of is succumbing to the pressure a bit. We've got the other character which kind of stands out as Deb's, Robin Tunney's character, who. How would you describe what musical genre? She's a bit. She's not goth, but she's a bit kind of rock, rock chick, kind of dark, a bit metal, maybe.
Are you talking about the woman that's with Rex?
No, that's
No, she
Debbie
shaves-
Mazar's Jane character.
You're talking about the one that shaves her head,
Shaves her
right?
head, yeah.
Oh yeah,
kind of like
Suicide.
maybe a little bit of punk, maybe.
she's metal punk.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's obviously quite troubled, and I don't recall knowing why she's troubled. She's in a relationship with.
They talk about it in the
Coyote.
movie.
Yeah, but yeah, what
Like
is it?
her-
Say it again.
So like I think her parents are like dead or something, and she's like alone and just sort of like, I don't know. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that her folks are dead.
Okay. Yeah, I think she's just struggling with grown up. Now that sometimes you just get depressed sometimes for no reason, and you're a bit sad about things.
Mm-hmm.
She's in a relationship with Coyote Shiver's character Berko. We don't know if that's got maybe something to do with it as well. But she's just I think I called her a tortured soul in the notes. She's been funniest thing. I think one of the funniest lines in the movie, where she describes how she tried to commit suicide.
With the Bic razor.
With the pink Lady Bic razor with butterflies on it or something, or flowers, and she spent ages trying to saw through her skin. So yeah, it's really sad, but also it's a funny moment. Like you can laugh at the absurdity of that scenario, I think.
Well, I mean, even the way that they handle it's a very odd, and I'm not sure how to place it, but the fulfillment of her wish to die towards the end of the movie, they're having this mock funeral.
Yeah.
That's so like, I mean, it is kind of beautiful in a way. Like everyone starts kind of, having their own confessions about things that they've been going through.
See, that feels 90s to me too. Like that idea, that concept of like, oh, let's have a mock funeral for our friend here. It's like, I don't know, like when they did it on RuPaul's Drag Race for Lady Bunny, it's the same kind of thing.
It's also something straight up like a Joss Whedon TV show. Like I could have seen that scene in Buffy.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. But like, there's something really sweet about it. And also
absolutely.
Funny, because even though they're supposed to be talking about Deb dying, Berko says, "Oh, I just want you to stay. That's it. Nothing about how great you are as a person or give you XYZ reasons why you should be alive." And then AJ says, "Oh, I want to go to art school. I want to be an artist." Okay, nothing about Deb. And then Gina and Corey have their wee heart to heart after their big fight, and kind of make up as well. But they forgot all the while. Deb is lying there going, "This is the worst funeral ever."
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
It's pure brilliance.
plays really well. Yeah, coming of age. Anything else you want to say about coming of age?
Well, I mean, I was gonna say that I think it's interesting because I think the owner of Empire Records has a coming of age moment as well when he says to the person that wants to buy out the store and make it part of the chain, like, "Hey, I'm gonna go on my own and do my own thing." Um, and he basically gives this guy the finger and says, I'm gonna have my own thing and make my own place." Um, I don't know. I saw growth there with him as well.
Yeah, because I think at this point he's been a father figure to all his children that work in the store, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
He's a
like,
little bit older. Like he's like more college age or just past college, and they're, still high school students for the most part. Yeah.
The Rex Manning character, I'm curious, is he supposed to be? I mean, because there's the whole 70s, 70s theme to his look, the sideburns, the haircut. Was there any specific inspiration for his
oh,
character?
Elvis?
I was thinking Elvis. I was wondering if there was anyone else. No.
I'm not sure. But that's a good question. I think he's somebody that had fame with a song in the 70s, 80s, and he's touring small town America
Mm-hmm.
with his latest release, and all the old ladies of the town that loved him when they were 20 years younger flocked to see him. But no, like the kids in the store, his music doesn't speak to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, each of the characters in this movie, especially like the kids, it's like it just reminded me of so many of like my classmates and stuff. It's like every person represented like a different person that I probably knew at that age. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was very much like based on like a real group of friends. You believe these people would all know each other, sort of maybe through work and whatnot. It made sense. I thought they did a really good job of creating those characters.
Will we move on and talk about some of the darker, maybe possibly themes? I think we've touched on them a lot before. Deb has her problems with depression and her attempted suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I think these are really important things that we should talk about. Like depression's a really huge problem for everybody. So yeah, I think mental health is really important to talk about. With a view to avoiding like self-harm and suicide. And they don't go super deep into it in the movie. They touch on
No.
it, but I think it's enough to like we're having this conversation 29 years after the movie has come out.
Well, I mean, it's very interesting because, it also, if you really think about it, it also addresses what happens when you don't address what is going on
Yeah.
with you. And we see it with Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler, I mean, even though she, I guess, she's got people around her to take care of her in the moment, but she has the argument with her best
That's
friend.
yeah.
Yeah, in the shop.
Gina. Yeah.
And then Liv Tyler she loses it and she doesn't stop. She keeps going and everybody has to kind of crowd around her and take care of her. But I think that's just because she, like you said earlier, Joe, she's been doing all of these different things to maintain a certain image for so long that, she snapped. And, again, like you were saying, the movie it's not just one thing. I mean, it's comedic. I think it's dramatic. I think it's a musical. I think it's a slice of life film. I think it could be a mockumentary if it were to be redone today. I would
Yeah.
absolutely see this as a mockumentary.
There's the other issue which I think we've maybe touched on already, meeting your idols and the problems with that. But how when you meet, I think for all of us it's going to be Star Trek people, how some of them don't disappoint you, but invariably, given the sheer number of Star Trek celebrities that there are, some of them do disappoint you. For weird, innocuous reasons. And I get the reasons, but it just seems a bit like LeVar Burton doesn't shake people's hands, which I find really, really weird.
Oh, I got a hug from him, so I'm
Oh.
okay with not shaking hands.
Oh, okay, I did not. I got a fist bump, and I was like, that's a bit strange.
Maybe it was like around COVID. I don't know.
Could have been around.
Well, it could be because I
Yeah.
was like almost near tears with excitement and was losing control of my body and almost falling over when I met LeVar. So maybe he was just propping me up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's maybe calling for security as well.
Thanks, LeVar.
Yeah. One person who does not disappoint is Doug Jones.
Oh,
honey.
he's so great.
Did you get a Doug hug? Did you get
I got all of that and more.
Yes.
I lost emotional integrity.
Yes, that
My-
person will
My
take you and
antimatter
embrace
mixed
you.
with my matter, and my eyes exploded with tears. And he was just such a beautiful human being in that moment.
Well, one of the experiences that I had that was not the best, and I'm not going to say any specific names because I don't want to get myself in trouble or anyone in trouble. I went to a screening for something, and it was for like Emmy consideration or like for your consideration.
Yeah.
And one of the people working in the production was there, and so I just said, I really appreciate the work that you did. This is something that I grew up with. And so that person's response was, "Oh, that's everyone's story. Who's your favorite character?" And the question of who's your favorite character, in my opinion, in that moment, didn't come off as a genuine conversation of, "Oh, who do you like?" It was more of like it was a challenge. And it was in that moment, it was very strange to be challenged in that way in regards to something that I grew up with that I love, and for someone to approach me that way and say it that way, it was very off-putting. Especially, I think I had to take into consideration, for one, it was a for your consideration awards kind of screening, so these people are trying to get their names out there, but at the same time, you do have people that are just trying to schmooze and say whatever they can. So to a certain extent, you have to be careful and protect yourself. But, at the same time, I think I could have been anybody. I could have been a podcaster. I could have been a reviewer. I could have been an executive's son. And to be treated that way and addressed that way, I think was also on there in a very dangerous game to play. But that's a negative experience that I have, but I'm able to look back now and see a bunch of different angles.
I put drugs on my list of darker issues. I kind of gloss over it. We've got Mark Mark eats that hash brownie.
Yeah.
Not me, the movie people.
The movie people. Yes, the movie Mark. And it was Eddie. Eddie, the pizza guy, who also works in Empire Records, made the hash brownies. And we've got Corey, who is on speed. I don't think any of them are going to end up as drug addicts by any means. But certainly an issue. I think a lot of kids do drugs to a certain extent.
So, Corey, you said she's the one on speed, so the Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
My head was just like it brought me back to Saved by the Bell. And
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, that whole thing. What was her name? Jesse? Was it Jesse?
can't
Yeah, I
remember
think it was
now.
Jesse. Anyway, Jesse in Saved by the Bell. She had that moment.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. And then there's the other issue of gun crime, which when Warren comes back into the store.
I mean, the
That
thing
was
too is,
scary, yeah.
it
Especially
was.
that was in the
Go ahead,
90s,
Mark.
and so it didn't happen too often, but
Right.
you know,
It wasn't going to be until 4 years later, because this movie came out in 95.
yeah.
And Columbine didn't happen until 99. So, you know, it wasn't going to be until 4 years later that we had our, unfortunately, it sucks to say this, not even sucks, it's appalling to say this. Columbine was going to be, you know, our first mass school shooting in our
Yeah.
country. And that situation just continues to happen.
I think if this movie was being remade, I don't think that would have been included in the comedy.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think, I mean, that moment was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be comedic in that time period. But, you know, we're all watching it from a 21st century, 2024 lens.
So yeah, there are definitely darker issues within this whole movie. Even though it's marketed as a comedy, it does come up, and I think they mostly do a really good job at dealing with these things. Okay, Mark, what's next?
Director's cut.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
So this is the point in the pod where we replay some of our favorite scenes without any practice at all and just wing it. We raw dog, right, Matt? What do you say? We raw dog it. Is that what we do?
I mean, well, if you're not doing that, are you really doing anything? By the way, everyone, get on prep if you're doing that. I'm not kidding. Get on prep.
This episode is sponsored once again
Oh,
by Prep. So tell us about the scene. What are we going to be doing, Joe?
Okay, so if you fast forward the movie to around 59 minutes, Joe has just lost it with Lucas and beating him up. Lucas is like, "You're a brilliant boss," and Joe's like, "Say it again." Like, "No, you're an excellent manager," yada, yada, yada. And then Joe just throws him around his office and gives him a bit of a black eye. Then Joe comes out of his office, and while the beating up was going on, Gina, having had a big argument with Corey, has decided to go and chat up Rex Manning, super sleazeball, and have sex with him in the cash room and lock the door.
There's a lot of characters here.
There are.
And there's 3 of us.
I know. I'll be
let's
Joe,
see.
because my name is Joe.
All right. I definitely want. I picked Lucas.
I'm just gonna be Deb.
Let's see. I can be Lucas, and I can be, if you want, I can be Rex.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's gonna be Deb and Corey?
I'll do Deb and Corey.
Okay.
Action.
Where's Rex?
I got a better question for you. Where's Gina?
I'll look upstairs.
I'll check the bathroom.
I'll check in storage.
I'll check the sofa.
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, Joe. I'm sorry I'm late. I bought pizza in case anybody's hungry. So, what's up, man? Why you guys are looking so glum? Where's sexy Rexy?
It's kind of funny that you put it that way.
What?
And well, my Corey? Did I say it was Corey?
Sure. I don't know.
At this point, who cares? Joe, I'm not feeling good. Can I count out now? Why is the door locked? Where's Gina? Where's Rex? What? No applause.
AJ jumps on Rex and they fall to the floor.
Get off!
AJ, stop. He's not worth it.
Wise up, Junior.
Take your purse and get the hell out of my store.
Where's Jane?
She quit, pal.
What? And I was lying about your hair. It looks stupid.
And we all hate your new album.
Not to mention the ones before that. You were a washed-up imposter, man.
Why don't you just fade away?
Cut.
He does this wee bow. Ugh, such a horrible scene.
Why
Now,
did you pick that fucking scene out of all of the scenes?
It's cringy.
You're like, I'll pick the scene with 14 people for the three of us to do.
I thought,
And I'm like, are you for real, Joe? What the hell?
initially, I thought that the movie was, you know how sometimes the movie will play on prime time and they'll edit out the bad words so it can be. And so I thought that, you know, instead of fade away, he was going to say F off. And I was like, oh, this must have been dubbed. But
No.
I don't know. Even Rex saying, "Why don't you all just fade away?" to me is
Fade
just
away.
an indication of like the time period that he came from.
Yeah. He's a bit damp, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so wholesome.
And I think I chose this because it's really cringy, but then we get rid of Rex Manning. We kick him out because we don't need him. Okay, so what would we change if we had to change anything, and how would we change it?
Oh, jeez.
Do you know what? There was something that really jumped out at me. And I think it's because I've been podcasting with Americans for years now. And Scotland is very different to America.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of diversity in Empire Records is zero.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Literally, everybody is white. Apart from the one black guy that looks like he might be homeless, sitting outside the back of the store on the stoop.
Yeah, I mean, also. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
No, I was going to say, like, I did look up the demographics of Delaware by ethnicity, and it's like 20% African American. So at least 20% of that cast should have been like black. Never mind if they filmed it in 2024 and you're going to have like some trans non-binary.
I mean,
in it also.
Crowd shots and stuff. There were black people and black people in line to meet Rex, and there were, there was black people sprinkled in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean,
sprinkled.
When
I saw the movie, as a kid, it's like, I'm from Maine. That's it. That's my comment.
Okay.
I noticed nothing. I'm from Maine. Like, that is the way it looked when you went to the mall. If you saw a black person, it was on the news. Hey, a black man spotted at the mall today. It's like.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely say,
where I'm from.
Joe, to your point, I'll definitely say, I always noticed that in these movies in the 90s especially. I notice it now in movies, but I noticed it in the 90s especially. I also notice, and it still happens now, unfortunately, where you see the black character playing some sort of character that is a character of authority, masculinity, or even threat in a way. I think on 2 occasions in Empire Records, you have 2 security guards and 2 police officers that were portrayed by black men, black women, darker skin.
Interesting. Because I grew up in a country, like, as of like our last census, which was fully published in 2011, like, Scotland is 95% white. The other 5% is like everybody else. Like, and most of that everybody else is going to be kind of Asian, Middle Eastern Asian. So I went to school with like just all white people. It took me like until I was 19 when I went to university to meet my first non-white people that, like, as friends, that weren't people that worked in shops, really. So it jumps out at me for other reasons, I think.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt? What would you change?
I think what really got to me, I think besides your point, I think the resolution between Liv Tyler's character and the character that wants to go to art school.
AJ and Corey, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that maybe their storyline wasn't quite fleshed out enough. I mean, he's talking about professing his love to her, I think, throughout the movie. And unless I missed it, 90% of the movie, she's just focused on Rex.
Mm.
And there really isn't a confession of love from her, I think, until that rooftop scene at the very end, right?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a little out of nowhere for me, but it was also, I think it's also still just very 90s to have the love story be the button at the end of the movie as well. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I think they played it like that because Lucas at this point has become like Yoda, some Zen master. Like it's almost like he started the whole chain of events by going to Atlantic City. And then there's a scene where he looks directly at camera at the very end and said, perfect. I think he says perfect. Well, almost. And then
Right.
cut to Corey and AJ on the roof, as if, and then it's all perfect. They profess their undying love for each other and live happily ever after.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah. It's weird that Lucas character's his character changes for me at that point. It's like, why is he kind of broken the fourth wall? Why is he spoken directly at us like he's the almighty super being in control of the whole movie?
I mean, I think he could have been used in a different way throughout the movie, kind of like the Greek chorus of the movie a little bit, where you could have, if you're going to start the movie with him, you're going to end it with him. He could be that character throughout the movie, kind of making his commentary on what's going on with each character, if they were going to keep that fourth wall element. But did he break the fourth wall at the beginning of the movie as well? I don't remember.
He's talking about how he's been given responsibility, count the money twice, put it in the bag, put it in the safe, or whatever.
Right.
I don't think he's quite breaking the fourth wall.
Not directing it to, right.
Yeah, he's just talking to the desk. Mark, you changing anything?
I mean, if the movie was being made today, obviously I'd throw some more diversity in there. But, because black people existed in the 90s. I don't know if you guys are aware or not. But yeah, they were there too. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I promise. They were there.
It wasn't just white people with heavy makeup, no?
Well, there was some of that.
Some of that, yeah.
Anyway.
They weren't allowed to do that anymore.
So yeah, I'd probably do that, but I don't know. I think the movie had really good pacing, which I appreciated. There was moments to breathe with different characters, which I appreciated. They all sort of had their own drives and agency. I liked that. Yeah. So to me, it was a cool film. And Matt had talked about I think on the last pod about how it felt a little bit like a play. Like, well, this movie could be as well a play because it takes place essentially on one set. There you go. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I think it's a cool film. It's a time capsule. If the youths want to know what it was like in the 90s, it was a lot like that. So maybe not so spoofy. This was spoofy even for them, but it definitely is a window into that different time, and I think the movie will stand the test of time. I think people will go to this movie for quite some time. It's a good coming of age film.
Yeah. Stand out. Is there anybody not mentioned anything that they wanted to mention?
Yeah. So I want to talk about Lucas for a minute. Because to me, I remember when I saw it, like I just thought he was the epitome of all things cool. Like I just wanted to be Lucas. I went out and got like the black turtleneck. Like I just, I really wanted to be Lucas. And yeah, he did have that sort of Zen monk quality about him. And like, I had studied Buddhism and like, I just thought like this guy is cool. And even at the beginning, like he's shown as being super cool, winning all that money before losing it. But he did win all that money at the beginning, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's awesome. And doesn't he have like a motorcycle? He has like a motorcycle too, I think. And yeah, the whole sort of tongue-in-cheekiness of him, like, can't leave the couch. Oh, okay, so then he takes the couch with him. Like, I just love that. I'm like, that is totally something that maybe teenage me or early 20-somethings me would have done. Like, well, technically, I was still have the couch, looking for those gray areas. I see a lot of myself in that character. And I realize the character's not a perfect character, but that for me, like, was one of the reasons I really loved this movie. I loved that Lucas character.
Any standout points you want to mention, Matt?
All I can think of is just that the cast was really good. Everybody really performed their part to their fullest, and I think it's you could say the movie is all over the place, but I think that again these characters are, even the adult, the owner of the record store, is going through a transition. Everybody's going through a transition. And that it makes for an atmosphere of chaos, and all those actors really played it up very well. And I think it works.
There's something I wanted to mention, and I don't think I've ever seen this scene before, because it's during the credits. The credits roll in front of this scene, and it's a discussion between Mark and Eddie, and they're sitting on the pavement, or what you guys will call a sidewalk, and they're talking about music. They're talking about, I think it's about the Pixies compared to bass lines in other bands that Mark likes, like heavy metal bands, possibly. And the thing that struck me was it doesn't feel scripted. It feels like two kids sitting on the pavement talking about the music they love, and some cameraman just happened to film them. It just feels something super real. Because then a car goes by in the background, on like behind the camera, and there's a crash. You hear a crash and you hear like chaos happen. I was like, that.
Yeah, I remember.
That served no purpose. That crash. I don't really know what was going on there, but it's worth mentioning. Do we have any trivia? I like a wee bit of trivia.
Ethan Embry and Liv Tyler were both under 18 at the time of filming, and they had to have chaperones on set. I wonder who Liv's chaperone was. Was it her dad? Was it Steven Tyler? Was he watching this shit?
That was
no, it wasn't.
Epic. Can you imagine?
It was her stepdad.
Oh.
Who plays Burko.
Oh.
Coyote Shivers was married to Baby Boyle, who turned out was Liv Tyler's stepdad, who chaperoned her.
Wow.
Apparently, Tobey Maguire was supposed to have a lead role in this movie. Now, I found this on Reddit, so I've no idea if it's true or not. He messed up his audition, but Alan Moyles loved him so much that they gave him a bit part. But when they went on location to film, apparently he threw up on Liv Tyler while they were skinny dipping. It just gets more and more bizarre. And then he had a breakdown after taking some drugs and broke into the director's basement, where he ate a big bowl of cereal and broke down to the director about his strained friendship with Leo. Who is Leo? I don't know. He dropped out of the movie, and all of his scenes that were filmed got deleted and went to AA. Who is AA?
Alcoholics Anonymous?
Oh, and went to AA. Oh, right, yeah. He went to AA, no, I thought it was somebody's initials, yeah, of course. That's just really far-fetched. It can't possibly be true.
Yeah, I don't think it's possibly true.
Coyote Shivers is Liv Tyler's stepdad. He was married to her mom,
Buell?
Buell?
Not sure.
Buell?
Regency Enterprises executive Michael Nathan Michael Nathanson, there we go, turned down the script for Clueless as they already had Empire Records. Clueless did better at the U.S. domestic box office on opening weekend. Well, yes, we know Clueless did very well. And I have to say about Clueless, I'm still clueless. I never watched the film.
I think I've seen it once, maybe recently.
I saw the TV show.
Oh my God, we're all bad
A
gays.
little bit.
They're coming through our cards.
I know, we're
Damn it.
awful. Number 5, New Jersey's McCarter Theater Center will stage the world premiere of Empire Records, a new musical comedy based on the 90s cult classic film during its 2024-2025 season.
Let's go for final thoughts, and we should rate this. Do we have to do 1 to 5?
We can do 1 to 5 or 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to do it instead of stars or moon biscuits, we're going to do records or LPs.
I will give this film I will give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like this was a great nostalgic romp. I like the acting in it. I like the pacing. It's a feel-good movie. Joe, you said you watch it to feel good. I can see why. Like it made me smile. And again, the last couple of days I've just been listening to 90s rock music. So yeah, I feel like I think I told the audience earlier, if you want a peek into what it was like in the 90s, especially in the 90s working at a record store, this is your movie. This is your movie. So yeah, 7 out of 10.
I'm also going to give it 7 out of 10. I think that, initially watching it, it is like, I will call it a beautiful mess. It is just a beautiful mess of things that I think once you get to the end of the movie, you see how it all plays out. And I think that once you kind of accept that the movie isn't one specific thing, again, I think it's a jukebox musical. I think it's a slice of life movie. I think it's a drama. I think it's a comedy. I think once you accept it for what it is and isn't at the same time, I think you're in for a ride. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it 8 so I can win. Purely because it speaks to the teenage me that I keep trapped in my mind palace. It is about me growing up, really. And those were good years. All my years have been good, yeah, but remembering back to those formative years, it's everything I want in a movie. It's like all those things you said. It's drama, it's comedy, it's music. It's all the music I listened to during that era. It's the people that I wanted to be. Like, I grew up, obviously, millions of miles away from America. And I grew up watching Gremlins and Short Circuit and E.T. Like that depiction of life in middle America before we had microwave ovens, and everybody had microwave ovens and blenders. And we never had blenders and never seen a blender growing up. So it was like the pinnacle of kind of modern civilization was to be American. What's coming up is next? Who's doing this bit?
Oh my Lord, Joe. What are we talking about? I'm going to tell you what we're talking about. Listen, it's now the month of June. We're all excited about how warm it is. The weather's been fantastic. I'm in my booty shorts. And you know what? Girl, it's Pride. Happy Pride at BQN. So all month long, we are going to be celebrating here at the network with all kinds of different specials and Pride-focused events. And we are kicking it off here at Cinema Z with one of my favorite films, My Own Private Idaho. It's a 1991 American independent adventure drama written and directed by Gus Van Sant, loosely based on Shakespeare's Henry IV and Henry V. The story follows two friends, Mike Waters and Scott Favor, played by River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves, as they embark on a journey of personal discovery that takes them from Portland, Oregon to Idaho and then to Rome. My Own Private Idaho is considered a landmark film in new queer cinema, an early 1990s movement in queer-themed independent filmmaking. Since its release, it has grown in popularity and been deemed a cult classic, especially among LGBT audiences. The film is notable for its taboo subject matter and avant-garde style. I am so excited for you guys to check out this film. It's a touchstone movie for me. I told Matt already. I go back to this and watch it time and time again. I love the music. This was like the first film that I watched that had a believable queer storyline or character. Like you'd seen him on TV in the 90s, and it was like the best friend, and they were always super campy and whatever. And you never saw a different kind of gay, a repressed gay, a gay that was, struggling internal with that aspect of himself. And you see that here. You see a friendship, adolescent friendship between maybe bi questioning guy and his gay best friend. And they're on a road trip together. And River Phoenix's character, he's in love with Keanu, and Keanu kind of accepts that and is cool with that. I'm not sure that he wants to necessarily sleep with him, but he does love him. And it's a beautiful, beautiful love story. So I don't know. I'm stoked on so many levels to share this with you all, and hope you enjoy.
I'll be watching that one. I'm very, very, very excited.
I knew River Phoenix was in it, but that's all I could tell you about it. We would love to hear what you thought of today's episode and hope you'll join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, to continue our discussion there. You can also send your thoughts to @CinemaZPod or ZPod on Twitter and BlueSky and let us know if you'd like to recommend a film. Please follow the network on Twitter, or X as it's now called, BlueSky, Instagram, and at BQN Podcasts. Don't forget to join the conversation with BQN hosts and fellow fans on our Discord server. You can find an invite link in the episode description. So Matt, where can people find you when you're not stealing a mixture of metal rap and Whitney Houston CDs?
Oh my gosh, when am I not doing that? Also, Cowboy Carter slapped. Talking about genre jumping. That album is so good. When I'm not doing that, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube on my my channel at 1701BLERD. I wrote a web series about a gay black nerd that sees his life like a Star Trek episode, and the first 3 episodes are available now. So please hop on there, check it out, share it. And the pilot episode is going to be at a film festival at the LA Queer Film Festival at the Actors Studio, at the Actors Center. So please come check it out. Mark, where can people find you when you are not screaming and writhing hysterically after your best friend has slept with your celebrity idol?
When I'm not doing that, I do that fairly frequently, actually. Man, so many of my friends know celebrity idols and sleep with them, except for me. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. When I'm not doing that, you guys can definitely find me on BlueSky at MW207. Sometimes over on All Good Things Pod, where I discuss Star Trek. And the BQN Collective, one of the best places on the internet. If you're not there, what are you doing with your life? So yeah, you can find me there. Hit me up. And Joe, where can people find you when you are not only wearing an apron and slinking towards your favorite celebrity crush trying to seduce them.
Just an apron. I'm going to do that. I'm going to find an apron. Get me an apron, somebody. Yeah, Renée Zellweger looks amazing in that apron.
Oh my God, yes.
I would not look quite as good as that, possibly. But when I'm not doing that, you can find me places. Like, I'm sure I've still got Twitter and Instagram at JoeyJoe77UK. You can find me on the BQN Collective. You can find me hosting the BQN's newest Batless Battles podcast with my good friend Kevin Scarf. You can find me in Scotland. There's only 5 million of us, so it's easy to find. Yeah.
I flew over Scotland once and I didn't see you from the plane.
No. You couldn't have been looking at. Did you fall asleep? Damn it.
It might have been the glare.
From my shiny white skin. Yeah. I reflect all the sunlight. Get it. Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcasts with our master feed by searching BQN.
At this time, we would like to thank our associate producer, Amy Nelson. A special thanks to Laz Marquez for our original show art. The opening and closing music for this podcast is titled Dancing Dead and was provided by Ketsa from the Free Music Archive, providing royalty-free music for content creators.
If you would like to help us keep all of our shows coming to you each week, you too can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We will add you to the Hive Mind Facebook group so you can enjoy It's Green, Amy's Math Moments, and a whole lot of other network perks. With a monthly subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings on the Hive Mind roundtable discussions on the second Saturday of each month. Visit patreon.com/BQN to get all the details and watch those messages.
Thank you for listening.
We hope you will tune in next time.
I want to dance with somebody.
This is normally part of the...
I want to feel with somebody.
It's like Whitney Houston's risen from the dead. She's back. It's like a Whitney Houston Easter miracle.
Whitney. And she rose on the third day.
I was dark, unnecessarily so.